In this video, I'm going to share 5 powerful realizations that massively changed my life. And I hope by sharing them with you that you can learn from either what I've learn from my mistakes so that they can improve the quality of your life too. Now, if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. If you enjoy this video at the end, please hit the like button. I'm going to be sharing more content on how to be confident, how to connect with your true self, how to love who you are and what you do so you can reach your full potential in life and really get what you want. Now, let's get straight into this video and let's get into point number 1. Number 1 realization was that no one is coming to save me. I'm the one that's meant to save myself. This was a difficult lesson for me to learn, but when I got it, it changed everything. I spent a lot of the first part of my life looking for somebody else to save me, whether that's a mentor, a teacher, or a friend. Everybody became an opportunity for someone to come along and do things for me, or someone to come along and give me the answers. The problem with this was that no matter what answers I got from people, I always wanted more. And then everybody that came along was someone that was going to do things for me, or someone that was going to give me the answers. And it left me feeling that I didn't have the answers myself inside me. And it kept that belief going because I thought someone else will save me. When I came to the realization that the whole point of this is that I'm the one that's meant to save myself. I'm the one that's meant to become the mentor that I would love to have. I'm the person that can go out and become the leader that I'm looking for to give me the answers. If I can go and source those answers myself, then I get to be that strength for other people. I get to give that to the world. And it's because the world will not give you what you are after or what you're wanting. You need to become what you want and then give that to the world. This is the whole game to play. Does this mean that you can't have mentors and coaches and friends to support you? Absolutely not. Have all of those. You may have more of them when you really get this, because what you see is that they're there to support you. They're not there to prop you up. They're there to additionally give you information and help you and point you in the right direction. But you're the one that does it all. You're the one that has the power. When you see this, what you really truly tap into is your own power. You stop needing things from other people and you can want things instead. It's a different energy. There's a lightness to it. It's more fun and you really tap into your own power. This was something that really changed the game for me. Number 2 is that other people don't make me feel something. It's my thoughts about other people that make me have the feelings that I have. This one, again, is such a big realization for me because initially, for a lot of my life, I was a victim. I thought that situations and people could determine how I felt. And so what would happen if somebody was to judge me or someone would criticize me, then I would feel disappointed in myself, or I'd feel like I'm not good enough, or I'd feel like I'd done something wrong. And so I was just being kind of pushed around by other people, a little bit like a ship in the ocean, just get knocked around by the waves. I didn't realize that I could steer the ship. And that was because I wasn't aware that it was my thinking and my beliefs about what people are saying that determine how I feel. So if someone was to judge me or criticize me, I would have to agree with what they said or have a belief about what they said in order to create those feelings. When I got present to this, I realized that I didn't have to agree with what other people said. If someone criticized me, rather than just take that on as truth or feel bad about myself, I could listen to it and evaluate it and think, are there elements of that I want to take on board? Or are there elements of that I don't want? I remember once I was at a Toastmasters club, and this is a place where you go and practice public speaking. And I did my speech and then I got feedback afterwards. And the lady giving me feedback just really went into all of these points about things that I'd made, mistakes I'd made and things that I did wrong. And my instant reaction was this like discomfort, this embarrassment. And rather than just buy into that and get all defensive, and my initial reaction was like, who does she think she is? And I'm not going to listen to her. I just caught that, listened to myself of these are the thoughts that I'm having about it. And I allowed myself to listen to what she had to say. Some of it I agreed with, and some of it I didn't think was relevant. I thought there were points that weren't, so helpful, but I managed to get all of it because I was seeing the feelings I was having were not about what she was saying, it's about how I was interpreting it. And this gives you power. when you see that other people can't make you feel a certain way, they can say things, you interpret them, and then you feel, you can take charge and ownership over your feelings, notice the thoughts you're having, you can shift those to create more mental and emotional freedom, and it will give you more power. Number 3 was I realized that I could be both confident and afraid at the same time. One of the beliefs I used to have was that if I'm really going to be confident, that means that I have to be certain that I can do something and there can't be any doubt and there can't be any fear. And this kept me stuck because then I was playing the game of, when I feel confident, then I'll go and take the action. When I know what I'm doing, then I'll go and do it. And it kept me stuck not doing anything. Because in order to create the confidence, you've got to go out and take the steps. How can you be certain about something that you've never done? So when I realized that I could be afraid and be confident at the same time, it shifted something inside me, and I learned about courage. Courage is feeling the fear and taking the action anyway. Courage is feeling all of those emotions and doubts and still being the person that you want to be, being your future self and taking those actions now. So when you really lean into that and experience this of like, wow, I can have doubts, I can have fears, and I can still be confident, nothing will get in your way because you can take the steps even though you're afraid. You can push yourself outside your comfort zone, and this is where the most growth happens. For me, I was able to then start doing things I'd never done before. I was able to fail. I was able to take risks, tiny risks, and allow myself and accept myself when I had thoughts that weren't aligned with who I wanted to be or what I wanted, and still keep moving forward. And guess what happens over time? You build the confidence because you take the action, you're more consistent, and you get more experience and proof that you can do the things that you want to do. Number 4 is that I realized that fear isn't something to run from. It's in fact the very thing that you often need to move towards. This builds on the last realization that I had, that you can be confident and afraid at the same time. If fear is something that we run away from, what we're really running away from is our thoughts. Because fear is generated by our thoughts about situations. And if every time we stop because we're afraid and we react, we're living life based on our reactions and not on what we want. Because often fear shows us something that's really important to us. Anything that you want to do that's really meaningful for you, it isn't going to be just straightforward and easy. It might be when you get in the flow of it and you get out of your own way, but initially there's going to be a fear. And what we do is we see it as a stop sign and then we want to run away. But when I realize that fear is pointing me towards the direction I need to go in, that's where my growth is. I'm afraid because I haven't done it before. I'm afraid because it means something to me. I'm afraid because this is the direction I need to go in. It's important to me, that's why I'm feeling fear. Then it was like I could start to play this counterintuitive game of moving towards the thing that I've been running away from. The added bonus of this is that when you move towards what you're afraid of, again, you build courage and you build confidence. Because when we're forced to do something, there's not the courage in it. But when we say, this is difficult or this is challenging, this is scary, and I move towards it, that's what it means to surrender. You're surrendering to the fear, which is not giving up. It's the complete opposite. It's allowing yourself to choose it and move in the direction of it. And as you do that, you build more courage, and the things you're afraid of become less scary. It's an incredible place to be. It's an incredible place to live from. And this realization genuinely changed my life, and I hope it can change yours too. And number 5, last but not least, if you stay in the game long enough, you give yourself chance to get lucky. This one is all about consistency. So previously, before I had this realization, I would often start stuff and quit. I'd try something and I quit. It would get difficult or challenging or require a lot of effort, and then I wouldn't want to do it. And I missed out on so many opportunities. But staying in the game, being consistent, you give yourself enough time to learn and adjust. You might be trying something and it's just not working, but if you stay with it, over time will give you more chance to have opportunities. If you keep believing in yourself and keep taking action, you give yourself the chance of things to happen. Now, this was something I experienced with my Instagram page. I'd been posting videos and quotes online for many, many years, and I slowly started to build. Back in the early days, I set a challenge to myself to do one video and one quote every day for a year. And it got me through the times where I didn't want to do it. It was challenging, it was difficult, and I just kept going. And what I gained was a huge amount of experience. I really enjoyed making the videos. I learned to love it. I learned to stop doing 10 takes of every video and I could just do one take and put it out there. I overcame many of my fears, but most importantly, I stayed in the game long enough to get lucky. So I built my page from a few hundred followers up to around 10 or 15,000 followers. And then what happened was, I think it was a couple of years ago now, I get lost on how long ago it was, but it was the summer and something happened. I put a video out and it just began to go viral. And this video got hundreds of thousands of views. And then another video went viral and it got 2 million views. And all of these people then started coming to the page and my account jumped up from 15,000 to 30,000 to 90,000 followers. And then I went up over the 100,000 follower mark in the space of something like 6 weeks. It was crazy, maybe even less than that. But I gained over 90,000 followers in a matter of weeks, just because I'd been in there for years. That didn't happen on week one, year one. That happened by me putting out videos every single day for 5 years. And then I was in the space when a post went viral and then I got lucky. So was I lucky? Maybe, but I stayed in the game long enough in order to experience that luck. And right now you might be doing something you want to give up. Well, maybe if you just stay in the game long enough, you give yourself a chance for that luck to arrive for you. So the 5 powerful realizations that improved the quality of my life were: number 1, no one is coming to save me, I'm meant to save myself. Number 2, no one can make me feel a certain way, it's my thoughts about other people that make me feel how I feel. Number 3, I can be both afraid and confident at the same time. Number 4, fear isn't something to run away from, it's exactly the direction that you need to move towards. And number 5, if you stay in the game long enough, you give yourself a chance to get lucky. Now, I'd love to know what's been your favorite realization from this video. Drop it in the comments, let me know what it is, and if you've had a realization that's changed your life, I'd love to hear about it. Pop it in the comments too. If you've enjoyed the video, hit the subscribe button and the like button. I'll see you on the next video, and as always, big love.